What's going on, Celtics? This is Ray White again, giving you more stories, perspectives, and advice to help guide you on your college and career journey. I really hope you're finding some value in these episodes as we share quite a bit about ways to prepare you mentally, financially, as well as getting all your perspectives in order when you prepare for college. And now, as we're moving forward into the career space, getting you geared up and ready to go to take on your career and do an excellent job in that space. So in the last episode, when we talked about these careers, we talked about the odd jobs that I took, but more specifically, how important it is for you to take advantage of opportunities and know that your dream job, you're not going to land right away, but that doesn't mean that you still don't put forth your excellent effort in the positions and spaces that you're a part of. And then taking that opportunity to reach out to industries and interview them to understand their path and how they got to that point of where you want to go. So now in this episode, we're going to dive deeper into how I got my position at Salem Health, the healthcare organization that I work for, the healthcare hospital here in town, and more specifically, how to see things from a systematic perspective and understand that there's something deeper in a lot of these businesses that we may not necessarily be known about. At least I didn't know about this until I actually got into the industry. So we'll dive deeper into that. So Salem Health, right? As we left off in the last episode, I was working at the nonprofit literacy program called SMART, coaching football, high school football as a wide receiver coach, as well as serving in the ministry too, and college group there. So I was active in all kinds of places. And then I got the phone call. I got a phone call from actually the same friend who referred me at Best Buy, called me because he's now working at Salem Health and said, "Hey Ray, we got this role. It's essentially a data program coordinator, and you're going to facilitate project meetings and help bring people together to help drive to a solution in healthcare." And I'm like, cool. What? I've never done anything like that before. Like the specific things that he was asking for this position, I had no experience in doing. Doubt tremendously so seeping through my mind and my heart and my thoughts when he called me about this and was encouraging me to apply, and even other people were encouraging me to apply too, because they were like, "This sounds like a great opportunity. You should take it." And I'm like, I don't even know what it means or what this is. Yet still, I took the opportunity to apply to it. I even, was researching like, what does it mean to be this person? And the actual title was business intelligence analyst. And in the healthcare space, it was fairly new, like it was getting off the ground, but essentially helping utilize data and analytics to help drive business decisions is what the role entitled, or what that team was looking to do. And so, yeah, I was very much so like, all right, I've never done this before. How do I navigate this and try to work through my doubt and work through my fears, and yet still had the opportunity as a business intelligence associate to get my foot in the door at Salem Health and work in the healthcare industry. Now, yes, I did not get my degree in healthcare. I did not get my degree in IT, in data. I've done project management, but what I was being asked to do, I had no experience in. And that, a lot of insecurities came in, but yet we still pushed through. And I will share a little bit about how I pushed through those things. But I just wanted to share with you all that you do have the skill sets and capabilities to do any job out there in the world. It may not necessarily look it when you look at the job description or look at what the position title is, but yet there is some experience that you have done in the past that could potentially help in what you're currently doing today. And we'll talk more about that later, but I just wanted to get that out there. So as I stepped into my role at Salem Health, realizing that healthcare is a lot larger than being a doctor. Like, you watch Grey's Anatomy, you watch, I don't know how many medical shows there are out there. There's a bunch of medical shows out there, but Grey's Anatomy is the top one. You watch those shows and you see like, okay, they got these doctors who are active in these physical places, serving patient care, and it's just, like that's a lot. Yet when you think about it, all these industries have so many entities within it to help it run and function as a business that it makes sense that there are all these other factors. Like there are IT departments, there are marketing, finance, there are nutrition services. Like there's so many. There's actual teachers and educators on campus. Like there's so many people, so many departments, so many facets to help a business run that it's there's I think of Transformers. There's more to the Transformer than meets the eye. Well, there's more to these organizations than meets the eye as well. We just have to have the ability to have that lens and see, okay, what else is beyond what is shown to me or what is seen to me in the media or what is seen to me when I think about that, my perspective when I think about these industries. And that's something that I had to overcome stepping at Salem Health. It's like there is so much more to Salem Health than just being a doctor. And I think that gave me a little more confidence as well, because I was able to find how I can utilize my perspectives and strengths to take action and help serve in this space that will ultimately bring patient care to our communities and help serve our communities from a healthcare perspective. And that was amazing. Like I still am processing that of how my small role plays a factor in making sure a patient is well cared for down the road. So some of the lessons I wanted to share with you in that context is, yes, get your foot in the door. Get your foot in the door. And by doing so, you have to do a couple things. One of them is you got to study yourself and study the industry that you want to go into. In the previous episode, we talked about taking the opportunity to talk to a couple people in the industry that you want to be a part of, or even the role that you are interested in, to get their perspective. Now, this is just a slightly slant to that of just looking in the industries and just understanding all the facets that are happening within that space. Because once you get in the door, it's a lot easier to move up and move around in that space because you already established some sort of rapport in the role that you are involved in. And we could talk more about that later. But in this context, I just want to say, by you knowing who you are and what you bring to the table, how you bring value and add value to the culture of whatever industry and organization you want to be a part of, you can look into the different roles within that industry and see, okay, what else is a part of this industry that could help bring some perspective that I may not necessarily, that will help me when I get to my ultimate goal or ultimate title. So being able to know yourself and know the industry deeper than just the face value is really key. The second thing that I want to share with you is just to, like I stated, find a way to get in the door. A lot of the positions that may be out there that's available to you may not be glamorous. Business intelligence associate wasn't glamorous. It literally was scheduling meetings. I was project coordinating. I did a lot of the grunt work on the team. And by doing that was actually really good because I got to understand more so all the positions and all the projects that were happening. But even in that as well, it just, again, provided me a chance to see the whole organization within the organization. And so by you looking around or getting a position offers that may not be something that you exactly want, it still could be an opportunity to take it and say, you know what? I'm still going to make the most of this. Like I'm still going to learn from this and still use this as a part of my career journey to help shape the role that I want to be at, where I will be at one day. So making sure that you just find a way to get in the door. Make sure that this role is right though. Like don't just take any old job. You still do your vetting. You still check with yourself to see, is this something that fits within my strength? Is it going to stretch me? Is it going to help me grow? As well as, is it something that will allow me the ability to be a better employee and just grow and mature in that way? So know yourself, know the industry, as well as find your way to get in the door. And then the third thing is to understand how the whole system works. Now, I didn't realize this about myself, but I am a design thinking and systems thinking are two things that are really intrigue me. And essentially it's just understanding how the whole organization works, and each part and each piece within it plays a role and factor in it. So just kind of understand how cause and effect, or how one thing leads to another, and then how that we all can play a role and a part. And if we put it in the right position, we'll see traumatic success. And that is something that by an associate role that I had in the organization, I had the ability to get in the door and then see just how the mechanism of IT really plays a factor in patient care. And I got a chance to meet with other analysts on the team, other leaders on the team, other physicians, CEOs, C-suite executives, all kinds of people, and talk to them and say, okay, tell me more about this industry. Tell me more about healthcare from your lens. Tell me about it from your lens. Like, well, how did you get here? How did you grow here? What can we do? What can I do to meet the goals that you have set for yourself, which ultimately help shape the patient care? And those things allow me to do my job in a better way because I'm able to see things from a global perspective and be able to say, okay, how do I tailor that to what I could do here? Because if I do my job well here, it will set someone up to do their job well. And then the chain of effect will then help, again, serve the organization and the patient well. And with that, there's this comment that's often said, right? It's like, you are a cog in the system. You're a cog in the whole organism in the system. And you could take that positively and negatively. In a negative context, you could say, okay, this is my job. This is all I do. I'm not going to do anything past that because I'm just a cog in the wheel. I got this one thing and that's all I'm worried about. The other way is to say, okay, I have this one position. I am this one cog in this wheel and in this system, but yet if I do my job well, it will support other people as well and help shape the perspective and the landscape of what we are calling our organization. So being able to, obviously I'm biased to this side, being able to see things from a systematic perspective just not only helps the organization as well, but it also helps you too, because you're able to help bring context and understanding to what you are doing and be able to hopefully help make decisions or do the right thing in the role responsibilities that you have towards serving the organization and the outcomes that they're looking to get to as well. So get your foot in the door, y'all. Do not be afraid to get your foot in the door. My call to action for you is kind of similar to the last one, but with a slight slant. As you are looking in the industries, you're talking to people in various industries and in various roles, continue to do a deeper dive in some of those organizations and see what are those entry levels that might be interesting to you. Again, look at those job descriptions, see what you are that you are already qualified for, see the strength that you already have, see the areas that really truly interest you, and be able to catalog those things, because you can take the opportunity to apply for those roles and just, again, be a part of the system, be a part of the organization, and see how it all works while in that role, in that space. It's a great opportunity. It's a good chance to get to know folks and network in that way as well once you're in the position, and be able to see the organization within the organization. So my final thought to you is to go for it. Just to go for it. I mean, you can have the opportunity, you can get your foot in the door and apply for a job and get it and realize, what, this is not all I thought it was going to be. And, sometimes that's okay. It's not to say that you should be often taking jobs and quitting whenever you face difficulty and face trials and tribulations. Honestly, I was almost in that boat. I was in the position of my business intelligence associate's role, my entry level role, and realized it wasn't for me. And I had conversations actually with my supervisor about it. I said, I don't know about this, but yet he encouraged me. He said, you know what, just keep giving it a shot. Don't throw in the towel just yet, just because it's something that's brand new to you, outside your element, outside your comfort zone. Take the opportunity to truly invest into it and to give it your all, and then see where it goes. Like, you can't throw in the towel if you haven't done anything and everything you could do to make it work. And that's something that I really want to encourage you to do, especially if it's a position where it's you're not in a toxic location, everything is in a good position and you have a chance. Take the chance, keep going at it, Don't run from difficulty or problems. Really work to figure it out. And who knows, you might rise in the ranks. You might roll and grow in that position and really find your position and find your niche within the organization that might look slightly different when you first entered into it. So don't give up, stay at it, stay with it, and then keep giving it a shot until you really exhausted all your resources, and then you find that, hey, maybe this is not for me. I may need to move on. But I encourage you to stick into it, because in the next episode, we're going to talk a little bit about what happened, because after I stuck with it, how I moved up in the world and moved up in the ranks within Salem Health, and what my perspective now looks like in my current day-to-day as an IT supervisor within healthcare. So I hope this gives you some tips and some perspective as well. Be sure to dive deeper in some of these organizations and find ways to get your foot in the door in the areas that you are interested in. I'll see you on the next episode.